Hey, welcome back, mighty friends, to the show that will never end till the appointed time of our Father has come. We have lots of activity coming at us as we begin this broadcast, for we are in a very dark and evil place this day as we take the journey around this old glory we walk our feet upon. Yeah, I pray and give thanks for each one of my brothers who was on his knees this morning praying to everlasting, the everlasting Father, in the name of the Son, Yehoshua, with the hope of glory upon our head and the hope of blood upon our hearts and minds. Today's word of everlasting is from Psalm 78. It is about God's guidance of his people in spite of their unfaithfulness. God is in all things, even the darkness of the world. Does his work at his moment. His perfect time will always manifest. That Psalm 78 would be in the hearts and minds of all the righteous upon the earth this day. That the mockingbird would sing, that all the beads would be thrown upon the holly tree this day. So listen, O my people, to my instruction. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not conceal them from their children, but tell to the generation to come the praises of mighty YeHoVaH and his strength and his wondrous works that he has done. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should teach them to their children, that the generation to come might know, even the children yet to be born, that they may arise and tell them to their children, that they should put their confidence in God and not forget the works of mighty YeHoVaH, but keep his commandments, and not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation. Generation that did not prepare its heart, and whose spirit was not faithful to mighty YeHoVaH. The sons of Ephraim were archers equipped with bows, yet they turned back in the day of battle. They did not keep the covenant of mighty YeHoVaH and refused to walk in his law. They forgot his deeds and his miracles that he had shown them. He wrought wonders before their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the land, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters stand up like a heap. Then he led them with the cloud by day, and all the night with the light of fire. He split the rocks in the wilderness, and gave them abundant drink in the ocean depths. He brought forth streams also from the rock, and caused waters to run down like rivers. Yet they still continued to sin against him, to rebel against the Most High in the desert. And in their heart, they put God to the test by asking food according to their desire. Then they spoke against God. They said, "Can God prepare a table in the wilderness? Behold, he struck the rock so that waters gushed out and streams were overflowing. Can he also give bread? Will he provide meat for his people?" Therefore Manna YeHoVaH heard and was full of wrath, and the fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also mounted against Israel, because they did not believe that Manna YeHoVaH, did not trust in his salvation. Yet he commanded the clouds above and opened the doors of heaven. He rained down manna upon them to eat, and gave them food from heaven. Man did eat the bread of angels. He sent them food in abundance. He caused the wind, yea, the east wind, to blow in the heavens. Yea, and by his mighty power, he directed the south wind. When he rained meat upon them like the dust, when winged fowl like the sand of the seas. Then he let them fall in the midst of their camp, round about their dwellings. So they ate, and they were well filled. And their desire he gave to them, before they had satisfied their desire, while their food was still in their mouths. The anger of Manna YeHoVaH arose against them, and killed some of their stoutest ones, and subdued the choice men of Israel. In spite of all this, they still sinned. They did not believe in his wonderful works. So he brought their days to an end in futility, and their years to sudden terror. When he killed them, then he sought him. Yea, each one sought him, and returned and searched diligently for Manna YeHoVaH. And they remembered that Manna YeHoVaH was their rock, and the Most High God their Redeemer. But they deceived him with their mouth, and lied to him with their tongue, and their heart was not steadfast toward him, nor were they faithful in his covenant. But he, being compassionate, forgave their iniquity and did not destroy them. And often he restrained his anger, and did not arouse all his wrath. Thus he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passes and does not return. How often they rebelled against him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert. Again and again they tempted God, and pained the Holy One of Israel. They did not remember his power, the day when he redeemed them from the adversary, when he performed his signs in Egypt and his marvels in the field of Zoan, and turned their rivers to blood, and their streams they could not drink. He sent them, yea, he sent among them swarms of flies which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. He gave also their crops to the grasshopper, and their product, all their product of their labor to the locusts. He destroyed their vines with hailstones and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave over their cattle also to the hailstones and their herds to bolts of lightning. He sent upon them his burning anger, fury and indignation, and trouble, a band of destroying angels. He leveled a path for his anger. He did not spare their soul from death, but gave over their life to the plague, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the first issue of their virility in the tents of Ham. But he led forth his own people like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. He led them safely so that they did not fear, but the sea engulfed their enemies. He brought them to his holy land, to his hill which his right hand had gained. He also drove out the nations before them and apportioned them for an inheritance by measurement, and made the tribes of Israel dwell in their tents. Yet they tempted and rebelled against the Most High God, and did not keep his testimonies, but turned back and acted treacherously like their fathers. They turned aside like a treacherous bow. For they provoked him with their high places, and aroused his jealousy with their graven images. When God heard, he was filled with wrath, and greatly abhorred Israel, so that he abandoned the dwelling place of Shiloh, the tent which he had pitched among men, and gave up his strength to captivity, and his glory into the hand of the adversary. And he delivered his people to the sword, and was filled with wrath of his inheritance. Fire devoured all his young men, and his virgins had no wedding songs. His priests fell by the sword, and his widows could not weep. Then mighty YeHoVaH awoke as if from a sleep, like a warrior overcome by wine. He drove his adversaries backward, and he put on an everlasting reproach. And he rejected the tent of Joseph, and did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his sanctuary like the heights, like the earth, which he has founded forever. He also chose David his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from the care of the ewes with suckling lambs. He brought him to shepherd Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he shepherded them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them with his skillful hand. Mighty friends, that concludes our reading of Psalm 78 this day. At the northeast corner of Jackson Square, as we look upon all the bound spirits confined within these metal rods around this unionized location. Down here, sitting out front of the Bastille of St. Louis in the French Quarter, New Orleans. Way back a long time ago, y'all might remember Yea, this place goes back long before even our founding fathers came forth upon this land. And their journey was intertwined with our mighty fathers. Yea, and the corruption of the hearts of men was made sure in each and every one of them. Yea, and they stand guards like watchmen in this place. Yea, the tide could not be turned, but let us go in this moment and turn the tide yet one more time. For our Father, who has given everything for us all, yea, that your everlasting moment, yea, that you would take the journey, .us, that you would check in and walk with us as we go along the way of everlasting glory, revealing the living word sharper, yea, than any double-edged sword.